Alright, let's get ready to rip. When you go to a tracker facility, it's not about the money at the track. It's about the people. Guys, I don't give a shit about anything but making this hobby better. You don't have to put them into a late model right out of the hit. Put them in a slash. Let them bang around on the bathtub. Alright guys, what's up? It's a new week. We're going to get this show rolling here pretty quick. Give it a few minutes, let guys get on there, and we'll get ready to roll. You guys see a cat jumping around in the background or something? Don't think nothing of it. You never know where they're going to be. Right now, they're sleeping on top of the vacuum forming machine I made. Guys, great weekend here at Kempton Speedway. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. As always, I'll go over the other tracks in the area and not in the area that I kind of look at, see how they're doing, because I just like to see the health of the hobby. Whether that be, you're going to hear from off-road, you're going to hear dirt oval. In the winter, you're going to hear some carpet stuff. I kind of watch a lot of it around just to see the health of the hobby and see where we're at. That's why we do what we do, okay? So with all that being said, got a pretty good turnout. The only other one everybody knows about is the Elite Series. I watched that, obviously. I think Kevin did a good thing with changing format. I think the weather and the rain in Oklahoma hurt them a bunch. And honestly, I think some of it is Oklahoma. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that the core group of people, and you run one way out there. I know some of our guys went out that way. Some of the local guys went out that way. I know the Hendersons made it out, which is great. They end up with 40 drivers and 59 cars. I didn't look at their breakup of how the cars went, but I see the model, obviously, and Sprint Mod. Both of those were pretty heavy. Our buddy, I think he ended up fourth in SC Mod. So that's kind of how that all worked. I think they're doing a great job with the Elite Series. I think the Elite Series is something that you can build off of. We did a hell of a job last year on it, and the year before that. We were just talking about it late last night, about the Elite Series and how long it's been going, and we're thinking 3 or 4 years, right? So with that being said, Tony did a great job, and I think Kevin will continue. You have to think about the stage that he put himself into and the person he has to back up. Tony did such a great job. Now you have to try to figure out a way to make it better or less hectic to where you can make it happen. So a lot of guys don't understand how hard that is as a owner and a promoter. I didn't. Last week we talked about Monique, and I think from what I never knew, Roy, I like to pick some people's brains about it. I know Josh, Butch, Anthony, Jake. I know all you guys raced up there. Tommy, maybe. I know Tommy. So you guys are racing there, and I'd love to sit down sometime. We need to talk about that deal, because I like Dave from the RC Underground's post about, hey, what do we do a promoter? Some kind of a promoter award year for in honor of him. There's some logistics there. It's a great idea. We haven't talked about anything that's going down. I'm just thinking he did a great job. So no, that is not water in my hand. It should be. I've been cramping since all night, but no, it is cherry Pepsi, babe. Mama's on here checking on me, making sure I'm doing the right thing, and I'm not, as usual. She's used to it. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. Congrats to Kevin, keeping it rolling. TJ's helping him a bunch. With that being said, those of you that know, TJ and Dave do the RC Underground podcast. I got out of it too as I'm going to call it filler. And no disrespect to anybody that's doing it. There's a group of us doing them. These live feeds will be on there. Dave is working with that, getting that done to be able, because they take the summer off. And I don't blame them. That's whenever I'm doing more of this kind of stuff. So this will be on the RC Underground also. One really good thing about it is it will be on YouTube. If you don't do live feeds on Facebook, you'll never know this. Sorry, me and Josh couldn't make it. Really wanted to. Hey, man, you're welcome anytime. Bring your stuff over. We run B-mods every Saturday race. We're going to run a B-mod. We're going to run a slash. We're going to run that bigger stuff. Every Saturday we race. Jump in it. Let's rip. All right? No hard feelings on my side. I hope everything's going well with you guys. Hope no problems. So, man, sometimes you just can't make it happen. I had a really nice text message from a buddy that raced here a bunch early on. And he said if he wasn't on vacay, he'd be here too. And hey guys, I understand. Bruce, I think he's still on here. Good Bruce, he's the same way. He said, hey man, he's in Florida. He wanted to race this weekend too. So I understand it. Everything's well. Just we're here on one Saturday a month or most every Friday. Anyway, so getting back, so we're going to do this with the RC Underground. It's going to be on YouTube. It's never going away. So it's indefinite when it goes. If you don't do live feeds on Facebook, 30 days they're cutting off now because they can't store them for us. So my feeds that you see here, you're going to have to go to the Underground to get archives at some point to these. I have no problem with that. Anything I say on this live feed, guys, I'll stand behind. And if I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. I have nothing against that. You guys drive in the comments, you guys drive it. That's why I'm looking down this computer all the time. When Rich just said he was sorry for not coming out, I'm going to respond to that comment. Okay? You guys drive it. Wherever this bus goes, whatever ditch we bounce in and out of, that's what we're here for, guys. And I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything. It's a platform for you guys to talk, you guys to put your opinion out there, and we're going to have something tonight, I guarantee it. Okay? So great weekend, guys, in my opinion, the local and the area track. It was hot, super hot. So I cannot thank the guys that came out here enough, the Big Tire Bonanza, my guys, my Kempton crew, the OGs, the Scuba, Jeremy, Butch, Anthony, my wife and kids. I was out here at, 11 o'clock. And Purple shows up and says, hey, man, I need something to do. And I'm like, make sure the track never dries. Keep water on it. So he goes out and wets it. I'm weed eating, mowing the grass, finishing up electrical, doing stuff. And he gets done, comes off the track, and about an hour later, blazing sun, the track started to dry in the corners a little bit. And he goes, what do you think? I said, don't let it dry. And Anthony, true to who he is, he's out there watering it. And guys, it came around. He started racing about 5:30. We opened the track at 2. And 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you could not get around this thing. We would water. We would put what we call liquid traction on it, which is water out of the Kempton water tower. Wet or good. About 10 laps later, you're dry slick. And I got on the mic and I said, guys, if you are one of the people that do not understand why we race late into the night, here it is. It's a waste of our time. You feel the heat at noon. 2 o'clock, the heats are junk. Unless you have trees around you. Enough trees to shade the track. We start racing at 5:30. The east side or the French stretch is dry. We wet it before the first round. Mini mods go out. We let them because mini mods are 4-wheel drive modified. Right there. We run those because they're 4-wheel drives. They're fun loose. Skinner back. Jeremy Morris ends up ripping a out, and he's one that likes it loose too. Rips the spur gear out of his deal, ends up fixing it for the next round, but it was just loose. After that, we had to wet the front stretch again, and it was loose before we got through it. So the front stretch, you had to ease out of 3. I'm okay with that. I mean, ease out of 4, and I'm okay with that. But I don't want the whole track to be that way. That's why we start later. So thank you, RC Underground. Thank you for Dave and TJ for starting. Well, TJ coming on board with Dave and doing an amazing job, and Dave doing it and giving myself and the rest of us that are doing it a platform and the support to do it to grow the hobby. And man, I'm telling you right now, I don't give a shit about anything except for growing the hobby. Now, as I've said in the past, tracks have to make a little bit of money because we have to stay open. But that's where we're at. What's up, Booch? Morris? I'm going to jump into a topic pretty quick here. Guys, what we're going to do in this format is about an hour in, I'm going to kill the video. We're going to push that to that'll. I'm going to push one. I'm going to kill one video, 2 of them. One of them is going to go right to the RC Underground. You guys will see me pick that off, and then once that's done, we'll continue on the Speedway page. Okay, so if you're not on this group, if you're not on the Kempton Speedway group, we will be. Those of you watching this on YouTube on the RC Underground first, you can get on the Kempton Speedway page. It's on Facebook. We do these every Sunday. They might last 2 hours if you watch the video. So, let's see. What's up, Aaron? Aaron finally jumping on there. Nice. We'll be up there, Aaron. BL2S for the win. You know, Marshall to pick up your car, putting it on the track, he kicks it, and he got stuck behind a cone, and then Marshall kicked it back on the track. The question is, what's your opinion on Marshall? Instead of picking up your car, putting it on the track, he kicked it. He got stuck behind a cone, and the Marshall kicked it back on the track. Kind of pissed Rick off. Rick, there's kind of a fine line there to me. I cannot say I've never kicked a slash. Straight shot. If it's just turned a little bit and I can nudge it with my toe, I don't have a problem with that. If it's stuck and you have to, you should reach down and move it correctly. If it just needs a nudge to get it over to get it straight, that's how I feel is okay. There's no reason to be aggressive with anybody's body. Jesse was out here, another guy that's been around forever since the beginning, off and on. He grabbed the car pretty aggressively last night, but it was in the middle of the track. He's like, I'm sorry I grabbed it so aggressively out of respect. But I don't condone somebody just aggressively kicking a car. A nudge with a foot so you don't have to reach down and grab it. I understand that, but a kick is kind of. My track's different because I have an inside wall. So normally if they're just nosed in, you can put the front around with your toe and you're going. You know what I mean? If it's stuck behind something, to kick it away, I don't think that's right. But Matt Dog Murphy. I read with him or had an interaction and talked to him while we were up at Foam Oval National. My boys raced with him. Pretty good sport, in my opinion. Very opinionated, which is fine. I am too. He put a post out about sanctioning bodies. And that's what we're going to jump into for the next, however long it takes, but at least a half an hour until we get the back half. So, a sanctioning body for RC Dirt Oval only. We have DODC, which DirtOval.com rules, and we have Roar. I haven't got really deep into this because I was racing last night when I seen the post, and today was a blur. So I didn't really dig deep. I was just trying to get opinions and I'll give you one on that. Make sure you post in the comments where you're at on it. I would love to be able to travel to a region at least and race without changing a bunch. Okay. A tire change, in my opinion, is not huge. But if you can a sanctioned track, I think you would give them options for everything. Okay? So you would give options for tires. Nice. Glad you got home. That was a long drive home at whatever midnight or whenever you end up getting out of here. So my opinion on a sanctioned body is this: I'm a track owner. I'm a drag race guy. I am going to talk to some guys that I know in the drag racing side of things, and I know it doesn't all translate, but that are sanctioned tracks, and ask them what the benefit is. Now, I did look it up. Holy smokes! I went to bed at 3, bro. I didn't get out from in here until 3 o'clock this morning, and crashed at 3. So, a better man than me driving home in that deal. So a sanctioning body, if I'm a track owner and I want to become sanctioned by a group, I have to get something out of it. Or there's no reason for me to do it. That's my opinion. I'm glad Aaron's in here while we're talking. Yeah, Matt didn't get out of here either because he left about 2:30 at my house. And we wasn't racing that late, guys. Don't get twisted. We weren't racing that late. We got about midnight. We started at 5:30, got done about midnight. So don't get it twisted. We were out here till 4 o'clock in the morning racing. These guys had an hour and a half drive and a 3-hour drive. We said bullshitted afterwards. So don't get it twisted. So if I got a sanctioning body and I have to get something out of it, whether it's deal on insurance, which is probably a good thing, a big part of why you would do a sanctioning body. My other thought, yeah, we were talking about time. Yeah, everybody left late, guys. Man, afterwards and talk shop. It's a great time if you can stay late. Or come on a Friday and stay until midnight because we get done racing about 10 on a Friday usually or so, night, and then we sit in BS for 2 hours at least. I've been out in the shop till 4 o'clock in the morning just talking about life and racing and everything you can think of with good people. That's what the hobby's about, as much as it is putting on the track. So, if you're a sanctioning body, you need to have something, right? You have to have some kind of way to entice me to be there. I feel like a big part of enticement would be if a sanctioning body could put better rules together that we could agree on in a region, and I'm not saying say I am the president of the sanctioning body. I don't make all the rules and say go by them. No, this is a group that get together. We meet. We talk about the rules every 3 months. We either video, we do a Zoom, or we meet in person at least once or twice a year, and you talk about it. You're right, Jeremy. You're all right, Butch. Some people got to go home. So that's, you know what I mean? That's my opinion. You have to be able to get, something out of it. And my opinion, our biggest problem in the hobby right now is that we run a spec class with no tech. I run my show with 3.5 people, not counting my Kempton crew, which helped me a shit ton. Don't get me wrong. They help me with the track, but they're racing. These guys aren't coming out here to run my track. They're out here to race, and they just help me. And I love them for it. You'll never hear me talk shit about my Kempton crew. I promise you that. If without those guys, it would be rough. You're right, Rick. But how big is the area? That's the problem. So that's what I'm thinking. I run with 2.5, 3 people, 3.5 maybe. This weekend it was me and my wife. Trace, my youngest, was out here. Ryan, my middle one, was out. He helped where he needed to be, and he had to work. Stephen, the oldest one, was out for a little bit. If we needed something, he would help. The Kempton crew guys. And then Jeff was nice enough to just check batteries, kind of look over stuff. Nothing evasive. So if you have a sanctioning body, would that sanctioning body be able to help us with a rules package? Cut it there, and then they train somebody that would tech your fees and your fees and your advertisement, because they would have to advertise for you being a sanctioning body. They would then help you with a tech person, whether it's a payment person or whatever. Let's see what we got. Hang on, guys. I'm going to grab some stuff here. Joe says, I would like to petition for a gear dip and midgets if that were to happen. I mean, there is, and you would have somebody to go to, right? He was telling old Nacho, that's Jeff Johnson. He acquired that name like everybody does Kempton. Dude, if you're Kempton long enough, you're getting a nickname. There's one that's elusive right now. And Claypool, watch out. You're going to do something stupid and you're going to get a name. Or say something like Nacho. Nacho talks about nachos too much. So Rick says, like me, I run a B mod at 3 or 4 tracks. Yet when I go one, I have to run it in open A mod class because the track doesn't allow just for your arms in their B mod. 100%. Thanks, Brett. You need you out here too, buddy. I know, Claypool, but I haven't done enough yet. You need to consistently do dumb stuff so we can get it. You do dumb stuff all over the place and we can't even pick a name out of it. If you do dumb shit all the time, guess what? We can't even do that. Rick, I understand that 100%. I understand. We opened up some rules a little bit here for the B mod to help that. We also opened up some slash rules to help people have somewhere to race different that might have hurt some of our guys, and that happens. And we'll work through it. But we need to figure out a guideline, and if a sanctioning body could do that, then, I mean, what's your thoughts? Right. Rick says we need universal rules like IMCA. Yeah, something. But here's the problem. And Aaron's on here maybe still. If he is, great. I'm not picking. But Aaron's in the same rules forever and loves them up there, and they work for him. Ours are not so much, right? Our guys have evolved into the 13.5 stock, which, I don't know, BL2S is damn fast. So that might end up taking over that deal, and I hope it does, honestly, to get one stock the hell out of here. But anyway, the BL2S, if that does get adopted as stated before, then that gives us another place to race because we can race the slashes up there. Claypool, Jeremy Moore says, Jeremy Claypool, Carly has awesome pics of your acrobatics last night. I caught a peek as she was picking them out of editing. Took about 300 photos. Just one/A main also. Yes. I agree, Jason. But if you go back and look at lap times, you'll find the BL2S might have been faster last night. I think that was trouble is why that happened, but I don't know that. You drove the new Silver Bullet like a bullet and missed everything. So, yes. So that's where we're at with that. Okay? Sanctioning bodies, we need them. I think we need one. I think we need it to be regionally done. And I say regionally because, like, the Midwest could have one because we all kind of run the same style of car. The East Coast could have one, and then probably the Midwest. Maybe 5 regions. I don't know. 3 to 5 regions, in my opinion. I know Roar. Earth Dog's post says Roar. There's talk of Roar doing something like that. My opinion on that is Roar needs to stay in their own lane. I think Roar needs to do motors and batteries like they've always done and not get in too deep, because if you are doing motors and batteries and then you want to build a same body around that, what do you think is going to happen? Roar's going to have all of them, right? They're going to be biased towards Roar stuff. No offense to them. It's just the way it works. Okay? My opinion. Yeah. Yeah, Rick, it's good. Ben was running one, and he was stupid fast. And I think Chucky was the other one was stupid fast last night in a B2S. Top 2, TQ and number 2. In the finals, JC came around them, but I think just because of, I'm not saying Jason has better driving ability. I think that Jason just stayed out of trouble more. In my opinion, I'd have to go back and look at it. But I don't have a problem with that. I think it would be good, but if I have to buy into a sanctioning body, guys, I have to get something out of it. And it honestly is going to take some investment from RC manufacturers probably and RC tracks. Like a small track like mine or Brad's or BB Mods. Some of you might not know who Brad is. BB Mods, Farmer City, Limestone, the new High Road track, Cedar Bluff. Guys, you got to think we're in an area where we have all those tracks within an hour and a half of me. Then you go further, you got Jacksonville, you got Germantown, you got Raw, you got 5 Star in Indiana. You know, all those places are places that you could go to if you had a package that's close, or there if you're a sanctioned body. But all those tracks, you wouldn't pay as much as a OC or a Traxxas or a GFRP, or they would help more to get that money up where we could train techs and pay techs of some sort. In my opinion, that's where we need to be. Also, if you had, I'll get you to say, if you had all these tracks together trying to get insurance, which I hope everybody does insurance. I hope. If you don't, contact me. I have a lady that does an amazing job and is a good price. So if you do not have insurance on your track owners, contact your insurance company, or I can get you in touch with somebody that can probably help you. Okay? Get insurance. It is not not to. Let me see what Aaron's got on here. I love Aaron on here one time. Aaron comes on one time. We love you, Aaron. Says I'm all for this idea. Is one reason why the BB Mods /SS rules we adopted when that class took off, because other tracks did the same. We are turning our SR10 class into a buggy street stock class next year, and I am using the buggy street stock rules for PTs, which are the same as a lot of other tracks as well. So I am all for the idea, but this has been a discussion dirt oval through the years, and it's always hard to get tracks to follow suit because they have their classes that work with their racers. And if you get something more organized like you're talking, I think it's more chance of being successful. I agree. I agree 100%. I agree with you 100%. And I agree with Matt too. BB Mods is a great track, guys. Even though it's got a roof on it, I don't call it outdoor anymore. I call it semi-outdoor. No offense to anybody, but semi-outdoor track. Brad has figured it out. I think it's going to be a good track. I knew he would. He's not stupid. He figured out how to get water in it enough, and hey, that's all it takes. And he got it figured out. So I agree, Rick. You need to be at BB Mods. So at least once, at least try it once. It's a good track. Brad runs a good program. But yeah, back to Aaron. I agree, Aaron. It's got to be bigger than 4 tracks doing it. I love what Indiana did this year, where those tracks got together, put a package together. They race every other weekend or every 4th weekend. They get a race on a Saturday, something like that. I love that idea. Then the guys can come in on Friday and do your club race on Friday if you want to. If the guys want to run a big race, they're going down 50 miles away to the track that has the race this week. That's working together. I think it's great. We run one a month, and that's why we run one a month. I want my guys that race here that are loyal to me, and I have guys that are 110% loyal to me, but I want them to be able to go somewhere else, right? I want them to be able to race at Brad's. I want them to be able to race at Cedar. I want them to be able to race when Limestone gets theirs up and running. They don't schedule on top of everybody. I want them guys to be able to race somewhere. That's the whole point to it, That's why I only did one a month. We started out, guys, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we did, 2 years ago, we did one race, the Kempton Day race, which is coming up this July 12th. It's our inaugural race we ever did. This is our 3rd year doing it. There's a Kempton Day celebration here at the park also, a little music, some food, I think. Not very big, but it's there. And then that was our first race 3 years ago. 2 years ago. I'm sorry, 2 years ago. This year we did, and the next year we did that. And my guys came up with Fall Brawl. And we did that race. There's 2. And now we do one once a month. So it's just fresh. And I don't want any more than once a month. If you put on a race once a month, you're in trouble. I mean, not hurt hobby, in my opinion, because guys can't support other tracks. Do I think we need a track on the corner? No. You're diluting it too much. But I think good tracks will survive. Let's see. Rick says, I've talked to a track promoter about coming up with universal rules. He said they have tried that, yet they couldn't agree on rules because it's basically my track rules. 100%, Rick. That is the way it is. But if I had a way to help a track owner make more money or have a better facility for people, do you think they would allow that? Do you think that conversation would swing a little bit? If we got Horizon Hobbies, if we got a main behind it, if we got GFRP, Custom Works, all of the main J Concepts, the name brands that are making money off of us as racers, if we got them behind it, would that help? Would a track owner look at it more serious? I believe so. Would a racer look at it more serious? 100% I believe so. Okay? 100%. Can I prove that in any way? No. But can you prove anything until you do it? I mean, you can look at numbers all day long. All day long, you look at numbers. And them numbers will tell you what they say, and you can analyze it if you want to, but until you put it into action, it doesn't matter. And we'll do this. Look at the Traxxas modifieds. We call them TRX modifieds. If you look at anything on our pages, they're called TRX modified. We jumped on that right away. For 3 days after it came out, a gentleman out of the east sent me a rules package. I liked it. I said, "Can I use your rules package?" He said, 100%. We thought they were going to take off. We had like 6, I think, or 7 at one time, and it never went anywhere else. We tried it. It hasn't really worked. Mini mods, the same way. 4-drive, 1/14 scale, short course truck, made by LC Racing. That's our class now. Nobody else is running it. Limestone and Vallejo started it. We had green, and Dave built the first bodies for him. He was out here racing this weekend. Glad to see him out. They built the first bodies. Well, when they did all that, Limestone, I'm going to say Hammy, Monstermans, Butch. I know Eugene ran a bunch of them. Who else had them up there? And I've all heard, because I never raced at Limestone. I see people here that do them. Izzy ran one for a while. So all these guys ran the car. Well, we took it all over. We took the BB mods, we took the PTs, we took the Limestone, obviously. Limestone's died down. There's a few running. We run 4 or 5. PTs never picked up at PTs, never picked up at Brad's, BB mods. That car is fast, it's fun, it's small, you got a lot of room on a track, it works really, really well, but guess what? It didn't pick up. You know what's going to happen in that class? It's probably going to die. And some people, right now, I guarantee you, are jumping up and down in a chair. I fell out of their chair, but I promise you, they're a fun car, but I think it's going to go down. Let's see here. What do we got? Matt? All right. CF Go Fast will sponsor the Buggy Street Stock class. It seems like a lot of guys agree on those rules. I agree. The only class, Matt, and maybe a tire rule, but most of them are going to GFRP's tires or Quasi's tires. But the mods are the only classes that anybody can agree on anything because there ain't no rules over tire. Joe Payne says, would the extra track promotion from the sanctioning body be enough for each track to join, or does it need to be some kind of monetary parts or tire deal? All of it. I don't know as much as monetary, Joe. I think opinions, guys. I think what needs to happen is tracks need to pay into it. Maybe the sanctioning body can get with a tire company, which we talked a lot about last night, and get a deal because we're going to buy a shit ton because we're on a spec tire in Buggy Street Stock. You're going to run a Sprinter. Get over to J Concept and you say, hey, our sanctioning body is going to run Buggy Street Stock. And what can we get these tires for? Can I get a 20% discount on them? And I don't know a number, guys. I'm throwing a number out there. Can I get a 20% discount on it? Therefore, and I'm buying 100 sets or 200 sets or 500 sets, depending on how many people I have in my sanctioning body. I need a deal on these tires. Can you give me a deal? Your tires, J Concept Sprinters, your tires are going to be on that plaque. You get the publicity. Make your 5% max and give me the deal, or don't make anything. We wash it across the board. Your name's out at every sanctioning. Give me a deal. I have 20 tracks, just a round number. I have 200 cars out there with them, 250, 300 cars out there running that tire. Maybe we go to GFRP. Maybe Quasi's are what it is. I don't care, but the sanctioning body needs to set that. Or you jump on a tire brand, right? You say, we're running quads in all of our mod, buggy street stock, 13.5 sprint, and crate late model. You got to run J Concepts. Give us a deal on them, guys. Now we got 500 to 1,000 people out there doing it. If we have 20 or 25 tracks for each of those classes, give me a deal on tires. The sanctioning body acquires the tires. They mark them at no more than 5% off of cost, maybe 10, to give them a good deal at the track. You buy from the sanctioning body. That helps build some money for the sanctioning body. At the same time, that helps pay for tech. That helps pay for training for tech. That's how it's going. That's how I see it working. See what Aaron's got. We aim the TRX modified towards the Aaron out of Attitude. Great guys, check him out on Facebook. Get up there and get in that race. He's got a lot of cars. Aaron says we aim the TRX modified toward amateurs, and we have geared down to an 18-tooth pinion and allow the DEs so they're more drivable. This way, the newer racer can buy a car and come out and dirt race. Come out race a dirt oval car right out of the box, minus the pinion and tires. So far, it's worked out well. Time will tell. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Matt. I'm telling you guys, you want to talk shop? I want to do a round table. Video. Matt, I know you're camera shy, but we're camera you. Aaron, I didn't look what your numbers on TRX modified, just for what do you got? Oh, good check. Hang on, guys. See where we're at here. But yeah, that's just it. You know, I mean, I think that's where you're at, Joe. To your comment about it, Joe, is we've got to figure out some kind of sanctioning, some kind of. I think it takes more than just advertisement, but a way for the company, the way for the sanctioning body to make some money is get sponsorships through the manufacturers, and also get sponsorships. Get product at a very reasonable price to be able to make a little bit of money on them. What's up, TJ? It's just kick hands. Throw them out there, TJ. What do you got? I just think it's something that we have to figure out, guys. I would love to be able to, and I don't race, guys. Everybody that's been on this podcast, or this, we'll say live feed, understands it, or podcast, what you call it. It's been on before knows I'm not a racer. I don't race. I promote, and I own a track. And I would love to race, but my problem is I do what I do 100%. If I race car, I'm going to race car, and I'm not going to do this. I'm going to own a track and promote. I'm owning a track and promote. I'm doing live feeds on a Sunday night. You know what I mean? After I raced all day yesterday. I'm going to work the track on a Tuesday through Thursday to be ready for a Friday or Saturday night. That's the stuff that people don't see and understand that you have to do. That's not horrible. I'm okay with that, Aaron. 10 to 15 a race day is 10 to 15 a race day. Do you make people get out of that class? Just a question. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you say you're racing towards an amateur, but at what point do you say, hey, man, you probably need to move up? Or is that just a year, say a season? But I think that's just some of the things that I think people need to have. It needs to happen. You know what I mean? And if say a company doesn't work with you, say you're a sanctioned body, and I'm going to pick on them because they're easy. Hobby doesn't. Everybody runs Hobby Week. That's what I'm saying. Hobby Week doesn't want to work with you. Okay, guess what? My sanctioning body that is this whole Midwest, the Midwest is going to go, and we're going to say, okay, your sanctioning body doesn't want to you don't want to deal with our sanctioning body, guess what? We're going to find somebody else. We're going to find somebody else to build us motors and ESCs. That's simple. We have 50 tracks that are going to put this out there. It's got to be leverage. Good, Aaron. I'm telling you, man, Aaron's got it down, you guys. That's the attitude. I'm not blowing his whistle. I'm just saying. I've never been to his track. I've only talked to him, but we've talked a lot online. I've talked to a lot of people about Aaron's track, trying to figure out how it works before I go. So my opinion, he's got some shit figured out, and I respect him 100% as a track owner to be able to be open and honest about it. Yeah. Yep. I agree, Rick. Move them out, 4 or 5 feature wins. Right. Then they got to buy a car. The thing about that is, at the track, you're going to find somebody to take care of the others, usually. At the track, you're usually going to find somebody that'll rip. Aaron is champion for sure, and maybe others if they are running good, consistent lap times with a short course beat. Then they just need to change electronics and put them on adjustable arm. And they want their TRX modified as non-this. Okay, yeah. I didn't think about that. I was wondering if anybody had done that and if it was competitive or not. So that's cool. We'll be up this summer, Aaron, I promise you. And we'll talk about this. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut this. I want to thank everybody on the underground side. I'm going to get ready to, we're going to continue this conversation on the Kempton Speedway Facebook page. Stay on, guys. Those of you that are on here, stay on. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to jump on here real quick, kill the other video, and then we'll come back, and I'll be same video. You don't have to log off or anything. I'll be right there, shutting the other camera down. And then, so Dave will have this footage to carry on. Thank you, Dave, for that. Thank you, TJ, for your support on all of it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to do this on a bigger platform. And I promise you, we'll do something to help the hobby and grow it one way or another.
Thank you for listening to the RC Underground Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your fellow racers about the show. Tune in again next week for more RC content.